Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera semua. Kami daripada kumpulan 7 akan membentangkan assignment kami iaitu UPSI Student Exercise Weekly Routine. Seterusnya ialah ahli kumpulan. Ahli kumpulan kami terdiri daripada 5 orang iaitu yang pertama Muhammad Azwan, yang kedua diri saya sendiri iaitu Abdul Wafi, yang ketiga Enderia, yang keempat Turisma dan yang terakhir Intan Saidatul Akmal. Tajuk yang kami pilih ialah UPSI Student Exercise Weekly Routine. Population semua pelajar UPSI. Sampel 32 orang pelajar UPSI. Seterusnya ialah Significance of Study. Significance of study kami ialah to identify the fitness level of UPSI student based on their routine of exercise in a week. Objektif. Kami ada 3 objektif. Objektif yang pertama ialah to determine the confidence interval for the mean how many times student do exercise in a week. Yang kedua ialah to compare the mean how many times student do exercise in a week between male and female. Dan yang terakhir ialah to determine if there are relation between gender and frequency of exercise in a week.
Untuk objektif yang pertama, determine the confidence interval for the mean how many student time do exercise in a week. So, daripada data Google Form yang kami dapat, N kita ialah 32, sum of X kita 123, sum of X square 1601. Mean sum of X over N 123 bahagi 32 kita dapat 3.844. Standard deviation with formula square root sum of X square minus sum of X in bracket square over N minus 1. So kita masukkan formula yang kita dapat dan kita kira tadi ke dalam formula, kita dapat standard deviation of the sample 6.033. So since N kami lebih daripada 30, so we use standard normal distribution. Dan alpha kita 0.02 because kami use 98% confidence interval. So kami tidak sediakan pilihan jawapan. So confidence interval kami guna tinggi supaya interval kami lebih besar. So from table, Z alpha over 2 ialah 2.33. So formula untuk cari confidence interval ialah mean plus minus Z alpha darab dengan S over square root of N. So kita masukkan data yang sudah kita kira di atas tadi ke dalam formula ini. Kita dapatlah 3.844 minus 2.33 darab dengan 6.033 over square root of 32 less than mu less than 3.844 plus 2.33 darab dengan 6.033 over square root of 32. So jawapan dia 1.359 less than mu less than 6.329. So conclusion dia, thus one can be 98% confidence level that the mean of how many times student do exercise in a week is between 1.359 and 6.329.
Objective 2. Compare the mean how many times students do exercise in a week between male and female. So, first of all, we have to write all the information down. For male, we have N1 is equals to 16, X bar 1 is equals to 5.6875, and S1 is equals to 8.1529. And for female, we have N2 is equal to 16, and X bar 2 is equals to 2, S2 is equal to 1.5492. And in the step 1, we have to state the null hypothesis, which is mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0, and H1 is mu1 minus mu2 is greater than 0. So in the step 2, we have to determine the table that we had to use. So I choose the t-distribution table, and in the step 3, we have to find the critical value, which the df is equals to 15, and the significant level is 0.05, and the critical value that we had is 1.753. Step 4, we have to find the t-test value, which the formula given x bar 1 minus x bar 2 minus mu1 minus mu2 divided by s x bar 1 minus x bar 2. So the value for s x bar 1 minus x bar 2, we must find it first. So I have the value here, 2.0747. Then we substitute the value in the t-test formula. So we will get the t-test value, which is 1.7774. And in the step 5, because the value of the test statistic t equal to 1.7774 falls in the rejection region, we reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, we conclude that the mean time students do exercise in a week for male is higher than the mean time students do exercise in a week for female.
Okay, next I'm going to explain about objective 3, which is to determine the variance of exercise in a week between male and female among all the UPSI students. In this slide, we have data 1 and data 2. Data 1 is for men and data 2 is for women. Both for men and women, they have the same n, which is 16. For the x bar for men, which is the x1, is 5.6872. 5.6875, and the x bar for woman, which is the x bar 2, which is 2. We are going to use this answer for the next step. Okay, then in this slide, we have the formula to finding the variance. For the first variance, we get 66.46906, and the variance for second is 2.4. Okay, for the first step, we can see in this slide is we state the hypothesis and we identify the claim. Okay, for the step 2 is we find the critical value. We use 0.02525 tables since the alpha is 0.05. We divide the 0.05 and we get the 0.025, which is this is the two-tail test. The DFN is 15, where n minus 1, which is our n is 16, and our DFD is also 15. The critical value that we obtain from the table is 2.8620. Okay, for the next step, we compute the test value. We already obtained the variance for variance 1 and variance 2. Variance 1 is 66.46906, and variance for variance 2 is 2.4. The formula is F equal to S1 variance 1 over variance 2. Okay, we just calculate it and we get 27.6954. For step 4, we make the decision, which is we reject the H null because the test value is higher than critical value, which is 27.6954 is larger than 2.8620. And then the last step, which is step 5, we summarize the conclusion, which is there is enough evidence to support the claim that the variance of exercise in a week between male and female among all the UPSI students is different.
In conclusion, this study analyzes 32 responses from students that from different faculties and different courses. From the data, it shows that the number of respondents in which 50% respondents are male are equal with 50% respondents are female. The mean of frequency of student with 98 confidence is between 1 and 6 based on 32 students. Meanwhile, the estimation of variance is between 2.4 and 66.46906. with the standard deviation is between 1.5492 and 8.1529. We also use the hypothesis test of two populations to analyze and compare data about mean of frequency of students do exercise in a week. Next, we conclude that the two characteristics, which is gender of students and the frequency of exercise in a week, are related, as the results show the null hypothesis was rejected. We can state that there is a relationship between gender of students and frequency of exercise in a week, since the variance of exercise in a week between male and female among all. In conclusion, this study analyzes 32 responses from students that from different faculties and different courses.